Hello, everyone, and welcome to another segment of Divine Femininity United. I am your girl, Dr. Bianca, Miss B. Lee, and we are here to continue our journey with our collective reading through The Power of Intention, written by Dr. Wayne W. Dyer. This book, you all, has already been transformative. It's already been amazing to my life, my goodness. And it's been amazing to others as well, okay? We are airing live on all platforms, including Clubhouse, okay? So if you want to follow via just audio only, Clubhouse would be the perfect avenue for you. If you want to follow by way of video, then you can follow on either Facebook or YouTube and, join us that way. Okay. Either way, we thank you so very much for your presence. We thank you for just simply being here, sharing your energy with us and all of the good things. Okay. Again, we appreciate you. Now, keep in mind that every book that we read, there is a PDF version for you to join us. Okay, so to receive an ebook of our reading material, inbox me. Inbox me at the email address in the captions or right above my head on Clubhouse. You can tap that and you'll be right there. Okay, right there. You all, we have begun this book. If you have not been with us, you have no idea what you are missing. I tell you what, man, it's been mind blowing. And I'm so grateful. I really and truly am. Okay. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and get off into the things. All right. So this chapter here is chapter 2, and it is entitled The Seven Faces of Intention. The Seven Faces of Intention. Again, we are reading through the Power of Intention, written by Dr. Wayne W. Dyer. Okay. All righty. Go ahead and follow along. Also, share, you all. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you in advance for your sharing. If you have any comments, anything that blows your mind, as I'm quite sure it will, then feel free to leave it in the comments. I'm telling you, leave it in the chats. Wherever you are, go ahead and communicate. We're walking through this thing together, you all. I haven't even read ahead of you all. So we're all in this thing together. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start reading chapter 2, The Seven Faces of Intention. There's a quote here by Voltaire that states 4,000 volumes of metaphysics will not teach us what the soul is. That is so true. My goodness, you got to go within for that. Okay. Here we go. Moving from thinking about intention to knowing intention. Yesterday, while writing this book here on Maui, I experienced a knowing that I'll attempt to explain to you. A woman from Japan was pulled from the surf, her body bloated from an excessive intake of seawater. I knelt over her with others, attempting to get her heartbeat going with CPR, while many of her friends from Japan cried out in anguish as the futile attempts at resuscitation proceeded. Suddenly, I felt a quiet awareness of this woman's spirit hovering above our life saving attempts. As I watched the rescue scene on the beach, I felt the presence of blissfully peaceful energy. And in some unfathomable way, I knew that she wasn't going to be revived and that she was no longer connected to the body that so many well meaning people, including myself, were trying to bring back to life. This quiet knowing led me to stand up, put my hands together, and say a silent prayer for her. We were from different parts of this world and didn't even share a common language, yet I felt connected to her. I felt peaceful with a knowing that her spirit and mine were somehow connected in the mystery of the transient, ephemeral nature of physical lives. As I walked away, the pain of death wasn't dominating my thoughts. Instead, I knew and felt that the departure of this woman's spirit from what was now a lifeless, bloated body was inexplicably all a part of a perfect divine order. I couldn't prove it. I had no scientific evidence. I didn't think it. I knew it. This is an example of what I mean by silent knowing. I still feel her presence as I write this, 24 hours later. In Power of Silence, Carlos Castaneda describes silent knowledge as something that all of us have, something that has complete mastery, complete knowledge of everything, but it cannot think, therefore, it cannot speak of what it knows. Man has given up silent knowledge for the world of reason. The more he clings to the world of reason, the more ephemeral intent becomes. That is so true. Silent intention is being presented in this book as an invisible energy field that is inherent in all physical form. Intention then is a part of the inexplicable, non material world of spirit. Spirit eludes our attempts to explain and define it because it's a dimension beyond beginnings and ends, beyond boundaries, beyond symbols, and beyond form itself. Consequently, written and spoken words, our symbols for communicating our experiences in this world, can't really explain spirit the way they do the physical world. I agree with Voltaire's statement at the beginning of this chapter and readily admit that I can't definitively teach anyone what spirit is or use words that give a precise picture of what it looks like. What I can do is describe a way that I conceptualize intention, if it were somehow possible to remove the veil that keeps the field of intention from our sensory perception and reasoning mind. I'll give you my concept of what I refer to as the seven faces of intention. These points represent my imagined picture of what the power of intention looks like. Intention is something that I believe we can feel, connect with, know, and trust. It's an inner awareness that we explicitly feel, and yet at the same time cannot truly describe with words. I use this concept to help guide me toward the power of intention that's the source of creation and activate it in my daily life. It's my hope that you too will begin to recognize what you personally need to do to begin activating intention in your life. The description that follow are distilled from my experience with master teachers, my professional work with others over my past 30 years, the veritable library and metaphysical books I've read and studied, and my personal evolution. I'm attempting to convey my personal knowing of the extraordinary benefits of linking to intention. Hopefully, you will feel inspired by the silent knowing of the power of intention and go on to create an increasingly enchanted experience for yourself and everyone else in your life. Silent knowledge starts when you invite the power of intention to play an active part in your life. This is a private and very personal choice that needn't be explained or defended. When you make this inner choice, silent knowledge will gradually become a part of your normal everyday awareness. Opening to the power of intention, you begin knowing that conception, birth, and death are all natural aspects of the energy field of creation. Clinging to attempts to think or reason your way to intention is futile. By banishing doubt and trusting your intuitive feelings, you clear a space for the power of intention to flow through. This may sound like hocus pocus, but I prefer to think of it as emptying my mind and entering the heart of mystery. Here, I set aside rational thoughts and open to the magic and excitement of an illuminating new awareness. That is so true. I want to interject right there because there's a creator here. He's such a wise and very raw and true to himself. I love him dearly. He goes by Sensei. You can follow him on Instagram, Sensei and the number nine, Sensei nine, okay? SENSAY 9. You can follow him on Facebook with Sensei, and it's two words, SEN space SAY. But he stated something months back, and he said, you have to lose your mind in order to find your heart. You have to lose your mind in order to find your heart. And that is so very true. Too often we are guided by our mind and what makes sense to our psychological self. And that psychological self, you have to understand, is very limited. That psychological mind is only privy to the knowledge that we've gained since being in this iteration, in this life, right? What you have read, saw, experienced, heard, blah, 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 blah. But it is not expansive at all. It's only limited to that small blink of time since our birth up until right now, this moment of this day. But when you connect to your heart space, where your spirit dwells, where your infinite self lives, then you can tap into infinite knowledge, infinite anything, because our spirits are infinite beings. They're infinite energy. There's no limit. There's no beginning. There's no end. You know, that's just we're simply here. We're simply present in infinity. We are infinite beings in the infinite awareness or infinite whatever. Okay. And so, in order for us to be able to really take this knowing in, you all, I mean, really, really, really take this in and understand, not understand, understand. That's the thing, because we are in our psychological brain, we understand, right? In our spiritual selves, we understand. Okay, there is a difference. 100%, there's a difference. And so, in reading things like this, and in other things that I study and go, and teach and guide and mentor in, and all of those things, I have to come from a place of my spiritual self where there are no limits, right? And so I connect my spiritual self to who I am in this iteration, in my human self, and I ensure that I am operating from my spiritual self while experiencing, or while having a human experience. So I marry the two, but I don't lose one to be the other. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not too floaty, right? Because we're in the Pisces season, and sometimes Pisces have to understand how to ground themselves, because they can be so enamored by the the other dimensions that they are no earthly good. That term where you're so heavenly minded you're no earthly good. That's what a Pisces need to balance themselves out and bringing themselves back down to earth, grounding themselves, because they can be very flighty, right? However, it's a beautiful thing, but it's too much when you don't have moderation, when you don't have balance. I'll say that. But also connecting to this human self and not having that balance of the spiritual self, it can, you're tied to this human, everything, you live your life based upon these human constructs, right? So there's a balance. It's an interconnectedness that we need to really be mindful of. Okay. And understand or understand that these both worlds matter, right? There is no one without the other, or one is obsolete without the other. You know what I mean? Just like science and spirituality is one of the same. You know what I mean? There is a necessity for both. All right. A great teacher in my life named J. Krishnamurti once observed, to be empty, completely empty, is not a fearsome thing. It is absolutely essential for the mind to be unoccupied, to be empty, unenforced, for then only can it move into unknown depths. So true. You got to disconnect from that mind space and connect to your heart space. And disconnect from that mind space, connect to your heart space. Take a moment right now to put this book down and allow yourself to trust and gently experience an awareness of your non physical self. First, close your eyes and empty your mind of rational thoughts and the multitudinous, ever changing chatter that goes on. Next, hit the delete button every time doubt appears. Finally, open to the emptiness. Then you can begin to discover how to silently know the power of intention. In the following chapter, I'll discuss in more depth other ways to access and reconnect to intention. But now I'll describe what I think our view might be if we could be outside of ourselves, floating above our body, like the spirit of the Japanese lady on the beach yesterday. From this perspective, I imagine myself looking at the faces of intention through eyes that are capable of seeing higher vibrations. Ooh, man. I'm not going to even lie. I absolutely desire to be able to do that. That is one gift that I'm highly gifted in many spiritual aspects, but that is one um I am able to see energies, but in a much it's in a I don't want to say weird because nothing is weird. It's in a different way. So I can't describe it. I see silhouettes. I see mm, I don't know. I can't describe it, but I know that I know what he's referring to, and I would love to have that ability or tap into that ability because we can do all right now, but we just haven't tapped into it yet. Okay, so next section, the seven faces of intention. Number one, the face of creativity. The first of the seven faces of intention is the creative expression of the power of intention that designed us, got us here, and created an environment that's compatible with our needs. The power of intention has to be creative, or nothing would come into existence. It seems to me that this is an irrefutable truth about intention or spirit, because its purpose is to bring life into existence in a suitable environment. Why do I conclude that the life giving power of intention intends us to have life, and have it in an increasing abundance? Because if the opposite were true, life as we know it wouldn't come into form. The very fact that we can breathe and experience life is proof to me that the nature of the life giving spirit is creative at its core. Absolutely. Man, I say that all the time. Boy, the creativity. Oh my goodness. We are so brilliantly crafted. Earth, everything in it is so brilliantly designed, man. It's you listen. There's a creativity that is like no other, right? Um, the very fact that we can breathe and experience life is proof to me that the nature of life giving spirit is creative at its core. This may seem obvious to you, or in fact, it may appear confusing or even irrelevant. But what is clear is you are here in your physical body. There was a time when you were an embryo, before that, a seed, and before that, formless energy. That formless energy contained intention, which brought you from nowhere to now here. That's I like that. This brought you from nowhere to now here. Wow, that's awesome. I love that. Oh, from nowhere to now here. Okay, all right. At the very highest level of awareness, intention started you on a path toward your destiny. The face of creativity intends you toward continued creativity to create and co create anything that you direct your power of intention toward. Creative energy is a part of you, it originates in the life giving spirit that intends you. Number two, that was good. Number two, the face of kindness. Mm. Any power that has, and its inherent nature, the need to create and convert energy into physical form, must also be a kindly power. Again, I'm deducing this from the opposite. If the all giving power of intention had at its core the design to be unkind, malevolent, or hurtful, then creation itself would be impossible. The moment unkind energy became form, the life-giving spirit would be destroyed. Instead, the power of intention has a face of kindness. It is a kind energy intending what it's creating to flourish and grow and to be happy and fulfilled. Our existence is proof to me of the kindness of intention. Choosing to be kind is a choice to have the power of intention active in your life. So true. The positive effect of kindness on the immune system and on the increased production of serotonin in the brain has been proven in research studies. Serotonin is a naturally occurring substance in the body that makes us feel more comfortable, peaceful, and even blissful. In fact, the role of the most antidepressants is to stimulate the production of serotonin chemically, helping to ease depression. Research has shown that a simple act of kindness directed towards another improves the functioning of the immune system and stimulates the production of serotonin in both the recipient of the kindness and the person extending the kindness. Even more amazing is that persons observing the act of kindness have similar beneficial results. Imagine this: kindness extended, received, or observed beneficially impacts the physical health and feelings of everyone involved. Both the face of kindness and the face of creativity are smiling here. Yes, it is. That's awesome. When you're unkind, you're blocking the face of kindness. You're moving away from the power of intention. No matter whether you call it God, spirit, source, or intention, be aware that unkind thoughts weaken and kind thoughts strengthen your connection. Creativity and kindness are two of the seven faces of intention. I literally was just having this conversation with two of my family members, my aunt and my mom, about this very thing. Because this very thing, the unkindness, is what accelerated very rapidly the health and the declination of a family member of mine, causing them to pass away expeditiously, okay, expediently, because the worse their sickness got, the more unkind they became. Thus, the disconnect happened, and their unkind thoughts and words and feelings weakened them all the more, causing them to, eventually succumb to whatever the ailment was. But when you are kind, it literally reverses everything. It's not hard to be unkind. It's not hard to be kind. It's a choice. It's a choice. And right now we see so often in this realm, in this world, a plethora of unkindness. It's as simple as, like the word, like the song says, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. Now, there's a plethora, it's an infinite amount of love. We are infinite love, each one of us. So if you're talking about over 9 billion people on the planet, and we're infinite love, each one of us are infinite love, then that there's not little love, right? What there is just too little of is the demonstration of that love, the demonstration of that kindness, the demonstration of that togetherness. That's what's too little of, because there's too much of a divide here. We're divided by race and skin, as if we had anything to do with it, right? We're divided by cultures, we're divided by religion. That's one of the biggest dividers right there. Because, say, for instance, in the realm of Christianity, well, God is love, and God is peace, and God speaks about forgiveness, and yet that same out of that same culture and religion, you're going to hell, and you this, and you're being you down to hell, and you're it's like, wait, something is off here. What? Wait. Are we loved, or are we going to hell? Which I don't. Wait, it make sense, right? Our way is the only way, right? And every other way is, is oh my goodness, kindness. Oof. Number 3, the face of love. The face of love. I just spoke about love. So we talked about the face of creativity, the face of uh what was the last one? the face of kindness, and now we're on the face of love. We're talking about the faces of intention. The third of the seven faces of intention is the face of love. That there's a life giving nature inherent in the power of intention is an irrefutable conclusion. What would we name this quality that encourages, enhances, and supports all of life, if not love? It's the prime moving power of the universal spirit of intent. As Ralph Waldo Emerson put it, love is our highest word and the synonym for God. Hmm. Love is our highest word and the synonym for God. The energy field of intention is pure love, resulting in a nurturing and totally cooperative environment. Judgment, anger, hate, fear, or prejudice won't thrive here. So, were we able to actually see this field? We'd see creativity and kindness in an endless field of love. We entered the physical world of boundaries and beginnings from the universal force field of pure love. This face of intention that is an expression of love wishes only for us to flourish and grow and become all that we're capable of becoming. When we're not in harmony with the energy of love, we've moved away from intention and weakened our ability to activate intention through the expression of love. For example, if you aren't doing what you love and loving what you do, your power of intention is weakened. You attract into your life more of the dissatisfaction that isn't the face of love. Consequently, more of what you don't love will appear in your life. That is so true. Thoughts and emotions are pure energy, some higher and faster than others. When higher energies occupy the same field as lower energies, the lower energies convert to higher energies. A simple example of this is a darkened room that has lower energy than a room bathed in light. Since light moves faster than non light, when a candle is brought into a dark room, the darkness not only dissolves and disappears, but it seems magically converted into light. The same is true of love, which is a higher, faster energy than the energy of hate. St. Francis, in his famous prayer, beseeches God, where there is hatred, let me so love. What he is seeking is the power to dissolve and ultimately convert hate to the energy of love. Hate converts to love when the energy of love is in its presence. This is true for you too. Hate, directed towards yourself or others, can be converted to the life giving, love granting life force of intention. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin put it this way. The conclusion is always the same. Love is the most powerful and still the most unknown energy of the world. So true. Number 4, the face of beauty. The face of beauty. The fourth of my 7 faces of intention is the face of beauty. What else what else could a creative, kind, and loving expression be other than beautiful? Why would the organizing intelligence of intention ever elect to manifest into form anything that's repugnant to itself? Obviously, it wouldn't. So we can conclude that the nature of intention has an eternal interaction of love and beauty, and add the expression of beauty to the face of a creative, kind, loving power of intention. John Keats, the brilliant young romantic poet, concludes his ode on a Grecian urn with, beauty is truth, truth beauty. That is all ye know on earth, and all ye need to know. Mhm. Obviously, truth exists in the creation of everything. It's true that it shows up here in form. It's now here in form that's an expression of the invisible creative power. So I agree with Keats that we need to silently know that truth and beauty are one and the same. Out of the truth of the originating spirit and an expression of the power of intention comes truth as beauty. This knowing leads to valuable insights in relation to exercising your individual will, imagination, and intuition. In order to grasp the significance of beauty as one of the faces of intention, remember this: beautiful thoughts build a beautiful soul. As you become receptive to seeing and feeling beauty around you, you're becoming attuned to the creative power of intention within everything in the natural world, including yourself. By choosing to see beauty in everything, even a person who was born into poverty and ignorance will be able to experience the power of intention. Seeking beauty in the worst of circumstances with individual intent connects one to the power of intention. It works. It has to work. The face of beauty is always present, even where others see non beauty. That's so true. I was deeply honored to be on a panel with Viktor Frankl in 1978 in Vienna, Austria. I strongly recollect that he shared with me and the audience his assertion that it's the ability to see beauty in all of life's circumstances that gives our lives meaning. In his book, Man's Searching for Meaning, he describes a bowl of filthy water with a fish head floating in it, given to him by his Nazi captors in a concentration camp during World War II. He trained himself to see beauty in this meal rather than focus on the horror of it. He attributed his ability to see beauty anywhere as a vital factor in surviving those horrific camps. He reminds us that if we focus on what's ugly, we attract more ugliness into our thoughts and then into our emotions and ultimately into our lives. By choosing to hang on to one's corner of freedom, even in the worst situations, we can process our world with the energy of appreciation and beauty and create an opportunity to transcend our circumstances. I love the way Mother Teresa describes this quality when she was asked, "What do you do every day in the streets of Calcutta at your mission?" She responded, "Every day I see Jesus Christ in all of his distressing disguises." Wow. Wow. Every day I see Jesus Christ in all of his distressing disguises. I love that. Ooh, I love that so much. Number 5, the face of expansion. The elemental nature of life is to increase and seek more and more expression. If we could sharply focus on the faces of intention, we'd be startled. I imagine that one of the faces we'd see is a continuously expanding expression of the power of intention. The nature of this creative spirit is always operating so as to expand. Spirit is a forming power. It has the principle of increase, meaning that life continues to expand toward more life. Life as we know it originates from formless intention. Therefore, one of the faces of intention looks like something that's eternally evolving. It might look like a tiny speck in a continuous state of duplicating itself and then enlarging itself and then moving forward, all the while continuing its expansion and expression. This is precisely what's happening in our physical world. This fifth phase of intention takes the form of what is expressing it. It can be no other way, for if this ever expanding force disliked itself or felt unconnected, it could only destroy itself. But it doesn't work that way. The power of intention manifests as an expression of expanding creativity, kindness, love, and beauty. By establishing your personal relation to this phase of intention, you expand your life through the power of intention, which was, is, and always will be a component of this originating intention. The power of intention is the power to expand and increase all aspects of your life, no exceptions. It's the nature of intention to be in a state of increased expression. So it's true for you too. The only proviso to this forward movement of intention is to cooperate with it everywhere and allow the spirit of increase to express itself through you and for everyone you encounter. Then you will have no worry or anxiety. Trust the face of expansion and do what you do because you're loving what you do and doing what you love. Know that expansive, beneficial results are the only possibilities. That's good. That is good. I mean, it is the way of life. It's the way of source. It's the way of the I am. Look at the outer space. It's always expanding, unexplainably, right? Always expanding. And so we're connected to that. We are made of the components of that. We are made of stardust. We are made of that. Our eyes and irises and all of that looks like the galaxies. We are that interconnected. Our hands and the lines in our hands are reminiscent of tree branches. We are so connected. We shed skin like a snake. We are so connected. There's no separation at all. Now, we've been programmed to be separate and to see things separately. No, there is 100% an interconnectivity to all that is. Absolutely. Number six, the face of unlimited abundance. Ooh, the face of unlimited abundance. This sixth phase of intention is an expression of something that has no boundaries, is everywhere at once, and is endlessly abundant. It's not just huge, it never stops. This marvelous gift of abundance is what you were created from. Thus, you too share this in the expression of your life. You're actually fulfilling the law of abundance. These gifts are given freely and fully to you, just as the air, the sun, the water, and the atmosphere are provided in unlimited abundance for you. From the time of your earliest memories, you probably were taught to think in terms of limitations. My property starts here, yours over there. So we build fences to mark our boundaries. But ancient explorers gave us an awareness of the world as potentially endless. Even more ancient astronomers pushed back our beliefs about an immense dome-shaped ceiling covering the earth. We've learned about galaxies that are measured in the distance light travels in a year. Science books that are only 2 years old are outdated. So true. Science data that was gathered yesterday is today outdated, okay? Athletic records that supposedly demonstrated the limits of our physical prowess are shattered with amazing regularity. What all this means is that there are no limits to our potential as people, as collective entities, and as individuals. This is largely true because we emanate from the unlimited abundance of intention. If the face of the power of intention is unlimited abundance, then we can know that our potential for manifestation and attracting anything into our lives is the same. The face of abundance has absolutely no limits. Imagine the vastness of the resources from which all objects are created. Then consider the one resource that stands above all others. This would be your mind and the collective mind of humankind. Where does your mind begin and end? What are its boundaries? Where is it located? More important, where is it not located? Is it born with you or is it present before your conception? Does it die with you? What color is it? What shape? The answers are in the phrase unlimited abundance. You were created from this very same unlimited abundance. The power of intention is everywhere. It is what allows everything to manifest, to increase, and to supply infinitely. Know that you're connected to this life force and that you share it with everyone and all that you perceive to be missing. Open to the expression of the face of unlimited abundance, and you'll be co creating your life as you'd like it to be. As is so often true, the poets can express in a few short words what seems so difficult for us to grasp. Here is Walt Whitman speaking to us in A Song of Myself. As you read these lines, substitute the face of endless abundance for God to gain a flavor of what the power of intention is. Okay, so okay, so let me see if I can. I'm gonna read it as is, and then I'm gonna substitute the words as he instructed. Okay. So, as is, it says, I hear and behold God in every object, yet understand God not in the least. I see something of God each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women, I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dwelt in the street, and every one is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoever I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. Okay? So now I'm going to substitute the word God, the name God, for the face of endless abundance. I hear and behold the face of endless abundance in every object, yet understand the face of endless abundance not in the least. I see something of the face of endless abundance each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women, I see the face of endless abundance, and in my own face, in the glass. I find letters from the face of endless abundance dropped in the street, and every one is signed by the face of endless abundance name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoever I go, others will punctually come forever and ever. That's good. You don't have to have an intellectual understanding. It's enough to silently know and proceed to live with your awareness of this phase of endless abundance. Man, that's good. Number 7, the face of receptivity. The face of receptivity. This is how I imagine the seventh face, the receptive face of intention. It's simply receptive to all. No one and no thing is rejected by the receptive face of intention. It welcomes everyone and every living thing without judgment, never granting the power of intention to some and withholding it from others. The receptive face of intention means to me that all of nature is waiting to be called into action. We only need to be willing to recognize and receive. Intention can't respond to you if you fail to recognize it. If you see chance and coincidence governing your life and the world, then the universal mind of intention will appear to you as nothing but an amalgamation of forces devoid of any power or order. Simply put, to be unreceptive is to deny yourself access to the power of intention. In order to utilize the all inclusive receptivity of intention, you must produce within yourself an intelligence equal in affinity to the universal mind itself. You must not only become receptive to having guidance available to you to manifest your human intentions, but you must be receptive to giving this energy back to the world. As I've said many times in speeches and earlier writings, your job is not to say how, it's to say yes. Yes, I'm willing. Yes, I know what the power of intention is universal. It's denied to no one. Mm. Your job is not to say how, it's to say yes. Wow. The face of receptivity smiles on me as what I need flows to me from the source, and the source is receptive to my tapping into it to co create books, speeches, videos, audios, and anything else that I've been fortunate enough to have on my resume. By being receptive, I'm in harmony with the power of intention and the universal creative force. This works in so many ways, in so many different ways. You'll see the right people magically appearing in your life, your body healing. And if it's something that you want, you'll even discover yourself becoming a better dancer, card player, or athlete. The field of intention allows everything to emanate into form, and its unlimited potential is built into all that has manifested even before its initial birth pangs were ever being expressed. Wow. Wow. My goodness. In this chapter, you've read about my concept of the seven faces of intention. They're creative, kind, loving, beautiful, ever expanding, endlessly abundant, and receptive to all. And you can connect to this alluring field of intention. Here are 5 suggestions you can implement now to put into practice the essential messages in this chapter. Next section, 5 suggestions for implementing the ideas in this chapter. Number 1, visualize the power of intention. Invite your visualization of the field of energy, which is the power of intention, to appear in your mind. Be receptive to what appears as you visualize your concept of this field of energy. Even though you know it's invisible, close your eyes and see what images you receive. Recite the 7 words that represent the 7 faces of intention: creative, kind, loving, beautiful, expanding, abundant, and receptive. Memorize these 7 words and use them to bring you to harmony with the power of intention as you visualize it. Remind yourself that when you feel or behave inconsistently with these 7 faces of intention, you've disconnected from the power of intention. Allow the 7 words to decorate your visualization of the power of intention, and notice the shift in your perspective as you regain your connection to it. Number 2, be reflective. A mirror reflects without distortion or judgment. Consider being like a mirror and reflect what comes into your life without judgment or opinions. Be unattached to all who come into your life by not demanding that they stay, go, or appear at your whim. Ooh, that's good. Discontinue judging yourself or others for being too fat, too tall, too ugly, too anything. Just as the power of intention accepts and reflects you without judgment or attachment, try to be the same with what appears in your life. Be like a mirror. Ooh, that's good. Number 3, expect beauty. Come on here. Expect beauty. This suggestion includes expecting kindness and love along with beauty to be in your life by deeply loving yourself, your surroundings, and by showing reverence for all of life. There's always something beautiful to be experienced wherever you are. Right now, look around you and select beauty as your focus. This is so different from habitually being alert for ways to feel hurt, angry, or offended. Expecting beauty helps you perceive the power of intention in your life. Mm. Number 4, meditate on appreciation. Meditate on appreciation. Cherish the energy that you share with all living beings now and in the future, and even those that have lived before you. Feel the surge of that life force that allows you to think, sleep, move about, digest, and even meditate. The power of intention responds to your appreciation of it. The life force that's in your body is key to what you desire. As you appreciate your life force as representative of the power of intention, a wave of determination and knowing surges through you. The wisdom of your soul as it responds to your meditation on appreciation assumes command and knows every step that must be taken. Ooh, that's good. Number 5, banish doubt. Banish doubt. When doubt is banished, abundance flourishes and anything is possible. We all tend to use our thoughts to create the world we choose. If you doubt your ability to create the life you intend, then you're refusing the power of intention. Even when nothing seems to indicate that you're accomplishing what you desire in your life, refuse to entertain doubt. Remember, the trolley strap of intention is waiting for you to float up and be carried along. Shakespeare declared, "Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt." And Ramana Maharshi observed, "Doubts arise because of an absence of surrender." Ooh, my goodness. Doubts arise because of an absence of surrender. You may well choose to doubt what others say to you or what you experience with your senses, but banish doubt when it comes to knowing that the universal force of intention designed you and got you here. The universal force of intention designed you and got you here. Wow. Don't doubt your creation from a field of energy that's always available to you. Wow. In the following chapter, I offer what may seem to you to be unusual methods for polishing the connecting link between you and this enthralling energy field we're calling intention. That is good, you all. Oh, my goodness. I definitely know that I will absolutely be going over that again. I'm going to reread that or re-listen to that. I think oh my goodness. I'm so full. Wow, wow, wow. As I read this, you all, the reason I feel the way that I do every time I read is because I'm running it through my own self. I'm doing a self check as I'm reading because I'm scanning self, even through the faces of intention. I'm scanning self, and I'm going through each one. And as I'm reading, I'm running it through my heart space, through the scanning of self, and I'm pulling out, and what's being pulled out are things that are not reminiscent of, or are not mirroring, because he said, be a mirror, be like a mirror. They don't mirror, those things. I'm pulling out those areas, and I'm bringing them to the forefront so that I can be more conscious, more intentional, right? About um, aligning them, reconnecting them to the power of intention, reconnecting them to my higher self, reconnecting them to my source, the source of all there is, my infinite self, the infinity. If it's not, reminiscent of, if it's not, if it doesn't look like what it should look like, which is infinite, which is, beauty and kindness and love and all expanding and, abundance. If it's not looking like that, then that right there is an indicator that there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect. Now, don't get me wrong. I definitely, I scanned it and I saw that I was connected to in a lot of ways, in a whole lot of ways. That comes with being awareness, being as awareness, being conscious, you know. And so I'm very cognitive of me, and how I show up to self, how I show up to others, how I show up in this world, how I show up in this realm. And it has to be in alignment with why I'm here. It has to be in alignment with what brought me here. It has to be in alignment with what I am. You know what I mean? And which is why we're journeying through these books that we're journeying through. They're very intentional. It's very intentional what we're doing here. Um, it's so necessary because we have to return to self. We have to return. We must return. We must remember, and then we must return. Remember, return. And that's what it's a daily, every moment of the day journey for me. And I'm so happy about it because every day I feel more and more like myself. Every day I feel more and more like myself when I intentionally do this work. First for me, then as me for others, and then as one for all. I love this. Oh, I love this. My goodness. Y'all, this is not just a Tuesday and Sunday thing for me. I promise you that. I breathe this stuff. I eat this stuff. I drink this stuff. I live this. I live this. I consume this. I surround myself with this. I do. I do. I do. I am insisting on looking like me as I am in my highest form. I am insisting on it. I am insisting on it. There's no, there is no other way for me to be than who I am, right? In my highest form, and I'm insisting on doing the work that I need to do to realign in 100% ways and be that while having a human experience. Absolutely. Absolutely. Next chapter, chapter 3, is entitled Connecting to Intention. You all, connecting to intention. I'm excited about that. You should be excited about that. We're going to be meeting on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm just, you all don't mind me. I'm just in it. I'm kind of floating right now. I promise you. Listen, if you do not have your book, be sure to inbox, email, back channel, get to me, okay? Get to me with your email address so that I can send it over to you, okay? You can send me the email at info@biancamissblee.com. Visit my website, you all. I have all of my services, all of my merchandise, merchandise that is not only just there, but I have merchandise on Walmart.com as well, which I'm so grateful for. And I'm working on Target, working on Barnes and Noble right now. I'm working on a lot of different things right now. So, and working on books 2 and 3 simultaneously, you all. Absolutely. Okay. And I heard a new title as I was reading. I did. I heard a new title and yeah. Yep. So there it is, book 4. Come on now. I love what I do and I do what I love. Come on, I promise you. Okay. So go to my website and you can see everything that I am about, and you can see how you can be a connection to it. I have a nonprofit organization called Beyond the Scenes Community Effort Incorporated, 501c3. We do things for the community. We do things for men, women, children. We do things for returning citizens, those who are just leaving from the prison system. We get them back on track so that they can be pillars of the community and not menaces to society. We do what we need to do for one another because we see energy, we see spirit. We don't see anything else. We don't see anything else. We operate in love. We see beauty in all. We operate in kindness. That's what we are. The 7 faces of intention. That's who we do. That's what we are, and that's how we operate throughout my organization, the Beyond the Scenes Community Effort Incorporated. We are right now in the midst of putting together our second red carpet event, that is a celebratory program for the other organization that I co-founded, Behind the Scenes Awards and Recognition, where we celebrate our unsung heroes of the community that do the work. They go beyond and above for others, without cameras, without recognition, without accolades, and so we just feel that in order to encourage others to do the same, and in order to show our appreciation for what they've done, then we roll out the red carpet literally for them. If we can celebrate the Grammys, the Oscars, and people acting on TV and things like that, then we can celebrate those who are actually doing the work, not acting like they're doing the work. Correct? We can celebrate them the same, just as big. And that's what we're doing. So we're planning on it right now, and me and the team and I are putting our heads together, and we got some things, man. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. That's going to be happening, prayerfully by the end of this, or towards the end of this year, during the fall or winter season, tentatively fall or winter season. Okay, so go to the website and you'll be able to see how you can connect or how you can take advantage of some of the offers that I have there. Okay. Alrighty. Follow me on social media, you all. Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, all Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee. Okay. Alrighty, you all. Again, in talk, I spoke about the awards platform as well as the nonprofit, and you can the information for that is in the captions on the screen for those who are watching via video, and on my website, and in my bio on Clubhouse for those. Okay. Alrighty, you all. If you want some information, if you want to speak to us here at Bianca Miss B. Lee, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee, LLC, for counseling, coaching, if you want to take advantage of any type of spiritual mentorship or guidance, or any readings, or whatever the case, then you can contact us at our phone numbers, area code 706-570-2630, area code 706-570-2630. You all, listen, it has been amazing as per usual. I love you all. I mean it. There's absolutely positively nothing you can do about it. Don't you even try it. We'll be back here in 2 days on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here at Divine Femininity United. See you next time. Peace.